We've got a developing situation, stunning new accusations that the Browns are intentionally misleading Shedeur Sanders about his future as we roll on a Bud's Chicken and Seafood Friday. Order now at budschicken.com. Up first, Tony Rizzo of ESPN Cleveland has a question, and he is not happy.
Shedeur is the only guy that hasn't gone against the ones. Is that right?
That is my understanding.
Why? Did anyone ask the coach? Of the 50 reporters out there, did anybody ask, Coach, why have we not seen Shedeur against the number ones? No, of course they haven't.
Yeah, and maybe that's because the Browns don't want to know the results, because they're already looking on to next year's draft to secure their so-called quarterback of the future.
There are forces inside the organization that are looking as closely at guys in college as they are Gabriel and Sanders.
Yeah, and then Chris Oldetch drops the bombshell.
What have we already heard? It doesn't matter how well any of the rookies play this year, rookie quarterbacks, they're going to draft another one next year.
Yeah, and then Aaron Goldhammer on the reality of who's actually the Browns' quarterback of the future.
I think they're most excited that their quarterback of the future was acquired with the Travis Hunter trade.
Whoa.
More so than in the mid-rounds of this most recent draft.
Right.
And that draft night trade with Jacksonville meant taking the Jags' first-round pick next season. And Barstool's John Gruden said, quote, I think the Cleveland Browns fleeced Jacksonville. Yeah, but hold on, because one Browns all-time great has advice for Shedeur, and it doesn't sound good. As we continue, presented by Lindstrom Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Get them online at lindstromair.com. Browns legend Joe Thomas offered this for Shedeur. You tell me what you notice.
For a guy like Shedeur, is keep your mouth closed and your eyes and ears open. Be humble. Always diffuse praise and always assume any criticism.
Yeah, but then Tony Rizzo weighs in on how he thinks Shedeur is handling this humbling.
For the first time in his life, he's at the end of the quarterback line. He's taking it perfectly right. He's saying all the right things. He's doing all the right things. He's working very hard. He's improving. And I think he looks damn good.
Yeah, and three-time Super Bowl champion Gerard Cherry knows what he saw.
I saw it for the 2 days that I was there. What I consistently saw was that Shedeur Sanders was consistently delivering the football and making plays.
Yeah, but hang on, because now there's actual talk of a legitimate trade as we continue, driven by Revel Rideshare. Ride for less, drive for more. Download now, Revel Rideshare. Jory Epstein of Yahoo Sports claims that Dylan Gabriel currently has the upper hand.
He is a little bit ahead of Shedeur Sanders, and I think that's reflected in who's getting these snaps.
Yeah, but Kurt Benkert says that doesn't matter because the Browns, they're not keeping him anyway. He said, quote, I wouldn't be shocked to see the Dolphins trade for Dylan Gabriel at the end of preseason. They liked him a ton, saw him as an incredible scheme fit with athletic upside. They were going to take him a few picks later, but then the Browns drafted him, adding the Dolphins traded that pick away after Gabriel was no longer available. Yeah, and offensive coordinator Tommy Rees is still claiming that it's anybody's job.
Yeah, you can see them all winning the job, I think, right? And so in terms of the competition, we're so early in the process. We're so early in evaluating it.
Yeah, but Tony Grossi says that's simply not true.
I tend to not think that it's as wide open as they say.
Whoa.
They want to portray it as wide open to keep the rookies competing as hard as they can.
Yeah, but hold on, because the numbers never lie, and these Shedeur numbers are ridiculous. As we continue, presented by Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. Up first, though, Aaron Goldhammer explains the Browns are in a tough spot, and it's not even about who.
The Browns have to decide if they're committed to winning now or developing a young quarterback.
Yeah, and as for those numbers from camp, Shedeur, like Rihanna sang, is shining bright like a diamond. On Thursday, the final day of minicamp, Joe Flacco, 2 of 7, no TDs, no INTs. Sanders, 7 of 9, the most accurate of everyone. And then overall, for all of OTAs and minicamp, take a look, Flacco, 18 of 35, 2 TDs. However, Shedeur Sanders, 41 of 53, 9 touchdowns, the best performance. The question is on the board. Question, what are the Browns actually doing at quarterback? They're making a mess. They're not keeping all these guys. Gabriel might get sent. Shedeur might get sent. But you know what? Next year, they actually are going to take a first-round quarterback to prove that all this was for nothing. Bud's Chicken and Seafood is never for nothing. It's for everything. Crispy, crunchy, juicy, golden brown, fried perfection. Get all the sides, get all the sauces. Order now at budschicken.com. Hit like, subscribe, comment. Tell me where I'm wrong. And remember, every day above ground is a good day. Some are just more questionable than others. So say goodnight to the bad guy.